Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow, and today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little different than you're used to. I've been doing a series of videos related to Amazon services, fulfillment by Amazon, and generating a passive income stream. And in all that research, I've been attracting people with stories of their Amazon experience, for better or for worse. One individual, actually a team, a husband and wife couple from the UK, shared with me a very detailed description of their experience in trying to launch their own product on Amazon FBA. And one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because I see a lot of these YouTube gurus who are promoting their $1,000+ membership courses to people and ultimately telling people to jump right in. Now, under no circumstances would I advise anybody to just blindly jump into a completely new business venture. Amazon FBA is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not an easy business to dive into. And for that reason, I've not dove in myself. I have not put my money into products or marketing or anything of that nature just yet. I will be, however, and I will document my experiences in detail for you all once I get to that point. But I am not doing this in a YouTuber guru way. I'm not doing what they are telling me to do. I'm doing my own research, because if I'm going to make a sizable investment into launching a business on Amazon, I'm going to do it in a way that makes sense for me. I am not going to do it in a way that makes sense for somebody trying to sell me on $1,000 or more course. Because what I see is I see a lot of these YouTubers out there telling their viewers to dive right in and to get that experience and to get their first product under their wing. When in reality, what I'm hearing is dive in head first, reach out to me in my course when you need a life jacket, and I'll help you for $1,000, $5,000, or even $10,000. That's what I'm seeing. And I don't agree with it. And it's also one of the reasons why I've taken on this passive income stream series of videos, to try and counter what some of these YouTube gurus are doing, because they're generating a lot of traffic, which means they're also generating a lot of sales. And in turn, I believe they're generating a lot of very distraught people who have gone out and tried to launch their Amazon businesses on their advice with some of their services even, and have ended up being complete failures. Now, the individuals that contacted me sent me a very descriptive story of their experience in Amazon FBA and Alibaba, and I'm going to share that with you. And it's not extremely long, but it is pretty detailed. And my hope is, by reading this and sharing this with you, you'll get a lot out of it, and it'll help you in making better decisions moving forward. So here we go. I'm going to pull this up. I'm pretty sure I have, I've redacted a couple of things, primarily the names of the course. And I wanted to make double sure, because I just started this video and stopped it because I'm like, oh, there's another course name. I'm not here to point the finger at anybody. I feel like doing a blanket, just be extremely careful with let's put it this way. If I'm going to put $1,000 into something for an Amazon business, it's going to be a book, perhaps, something with some legitimacy. It's not going to be dropping $1,000 or more on some YouTuber making a lot of bold claims about how much money I'm going to make, especially if they're trying to show me, look at how much money I'm making, because none of those numbers mean anything to me. It's so easy. I've showed in other videos how easy it is to change affiliate statements, banking statements, whatever. You can make it look any way you want. I don't buy any of it, especially after this story. So here we go. Let's get started. Hi, Jason. It took a few days again, but I will try to write down how we started getting into Amazon. It would be a short version of all the months. Once upon a time. LOL. Okay. We started looking into selling on Amazon around the end of 2017, doing research on YouTube and Google. We ended up buying a few courses from X and looked at Jungle Scout videos and YouTube gurus. There is so much information they do not tell you, we found out during the way. Being all new to us, we did not want to take the risk of losing our money, so we hired a sourcing agent through, I think it's one of the courses that they joined is the name of it. around $800 at that time. So they basically paid a sourcing agent $800 up front to help them find manufacturers and suppliers. It was said that they knew all the steps and would guide us through it, so it would make the process easier and faster. We thought if we follow the steps they take the next time, it would be easier for us to do it ourselves. There were so many steps to take, and taking care of all the documents and import papers looked kind of scary if you don't know what you're doing, and could end up costing you a pretty penny if you do it wrong. When we bought the Jungle Scout subscription, we found a few products that looked interesting. We ended up choosing a 10-inch letterboard with letters and some extras. So this was their product that they were going to go after, a 10-inch letterboard with letters and some extras. When we said this to our agent, she would start looking for suppliers. She said she knew a few suppliers that would get the best prices for us. She told us that we would not look ourselves because prices showed on Alibaba are not the prices you would get anyway. So she was basically trying to push them away from doing their own research and trying to get competitive pricing. She was trying to say, look, I'll take care of everything. Don't even bother looking because you're not going to get the same prices. So after 10 days or so, she emailed us back and said she had 3 suppliers. We looked into it, and the prices they asked for were far too high. Prices between $7 and $10 plus, without extras, just the letterboard. We did some research and emailed a few suppliers and ended up with a supplier that was asking $6 at first. When you want to order 1,000 letterboards, these dollar amount differences are adding up really fast. So we spoke with the agent, and at first she didn't want to listen because she did not want to do business with the suppliers a client found, probably because she's not getting the cut. We decided to order a few samples from her suppliers, and the one we found costing us a few $100s to get them shipped to our house. Well, the result was shocking. The ones she found were really garbage, and they were asking the highest prices. The sample from the supplier we found was a good one, so we told her and showed her the photos from the products they sent us. We decided to order from the supplier we found on Alibaba. She would do all the arrangements, take care of any price negotiations, everything. During this period, we were reading up on a lot of things and noticed she made numerous mistakes that it could have cost us hundreds of dollars if we did not say it to her to correct it. Now, these guys aren't an American. They're not in America, just so you know. We were reading online that it would be smart to hire a third-party inspection company that checks the final product in the factory just before it would be sent out. This company checks that the products are what the client asked for. Quality check, weight check, document check, everything. Our client said this is not going to be necessary, but we did not believe her, so we hired the company anyway. Very glad we did. In our contract, we noted that we would pay for the inspection company the first time if the product would fail the factory. If the product would fail, the factory would pay all of the incoming inspections. So they're basically saying, look, we're going to pay to have this inspected once. If it fails, the other inspections are up to you. So get it right and fix the problem. We also noted that if the product would fail after the second time and the delivery would not be on time, we would get a discount of 3% for every week's delay. Beautiful. Also something we read up online. And he would pay for the coming inspections. After our product was finally ready, it took weeks for them to get the job done. We arranged the inspection. Well, it failed miserably. The sample they sent us was a really good quality letterboard. The photos the inspection made and sent us was nothing compared with the sample they sent us. This trick happens a lot. They send you a very nice sample. You place an order and they replace the item with cheap quality materials. So we spoke with our agent and she talked to the supplier. He would have them all replaced and would get back to us when it was finished. This took, again, a couple of weeks. The second inspection failed again. At this time, we wanted to get out of this deal because this was getting us nowhere and we had no trust at all in this supplier. There was just one problem. Our agent told us to send the 30% upfront payment, around $1,800 to her, and she would send it to the supplier. What we should have done is pay through Alibaba because you are protected by them in case anything like this would happen. This is very, very key from a lot of the other things that I've researched. Always go through Alibaba directly. Because if you're going through a third party, then there's little record. Alibaba actually polices a lot of this stuff, and the suppliers don't want to damage their reputation or their ability to market themselves on Alibaba, so they're going to be much better behaved. This we did not know at the time, but the agent should have told us about it. So we told the agent we wanted our money back. She then told us this could not be done. This agent sounds like a real dirtball, and I know what company that agent's with, so I'm going to be doing some more digging on this in the future. She said the supplier was going to replace all the items that had flaws and it would be resolved. After the third check, the inspection said it was good to go. Meanwhile, we lost a lot of months of waiting on the competition, and Amazon was getting higher and higher. Now that the product was ready to be shipped, we had to pay the rest of the money, 70%. Our agent asked us for the full amount, not saying anything about the contract, but we said we had an agreement that if they would be late, we get the discount. This is the discount that said, look, if they continue to mess up and fail inspections, every week that this happens or every failed inspection, they get a 3% discount on the total price, which was smart negotiation. At this time, she was getting a real B. I think he's basically saying like the person that they hired was becoming a real pain in the butt. And it looked like she was not on our side, but the supplier side for whatever reason. Well, that reason is likely because she's getting a kickback on the relationship. She was not willing to ask for the discount because the supplier already paid twice for the third-party inspection. Well, this was not our problem, we said. In the end, we got the discount. This was a couple $100. What we would not have gotten if we did not make the contract. There were so many mistakes made from our agent during the process of shipment, and we were almost doing everything ourselves. The shipment was costing us around $1,800 by boat. Crazy. We decided to do Amazon FBA because that was the best option for us living in Europe. FBA is costing so much money on fees, and next to the fees, we paid money for advertising, and we took a subscription for an automatic email response asking for placing an honest review because it was not possible for a seller to contact the buyer. Because you want to be listed on page 1 or 2, your pay-per-click advertising is adding up fast. We were selling the item for around $18. But with all the fees, we were in minus and had to pay hundreds of dollars every month, storage fees basically. After a few months, we decided it was best to dispose of the rest of the items because you pay an extra fee during October, November, and December for having your product in the Amazon warehouse, which would have cost us even more, obviously, as people are making more purchases for Christmas. We would not have made money anyway. It was cheaper to throw the items away than to keep them there. Now, things you should be aware of. Chinese suppliers always say they can make something for you even if they've never done it before. Order from a factory and not through a trading company because the trade companies sell everything and do not know the item most of the time, and their prices are also higher. Yeah, they're higher because they're making a rip. They're making a cut of that relationship, just like that agent sounds like she was too. Alibaba prices are not the prices you are going to get. Alibaba prices are always negotiable. I do know that. When ordering a sample, be aware that there are many companies out there that would send you a great looking product, but when you order, they replace it with cheaper quality materials. Always pay through Alibaba. Like this, they have your back if something is going wrong. Read into how to make a contract with your supplier. Put a lot of conditions in there so you have fewer worries if something goes wrong. Hire a third-party inspection company to make the check before sending it out. Basically, check the product before you let them ship it to you. Make sure that the products are of high quality, there's nothing broken, it's not garbage. Because if you don't, and you have a bad quality item, you would get a lot of bad reviews and returns, which is really what a part of a lot of these YouTube gurus are telling you on, like what to do to capitalize. Like you're taking the bad reviews of other products that are already out there, but generating sales, and you're establishing a differentiating factor between your product and theirs by fixing the problems that are wrong with the original one. Doesn't really help much if you don't get an inspection to make sure that the product's up to snuff. For photos, you can look at virtuousgraphics.com. They made good photos for us. That's a good tip. Okay, so from there, basically they go on to explain how they're willing to give me access to the courses that where they use some of these services. So I'm going to be doing some further investigation on that. And I'll probably have to talk to one of my attorneys to make sure it's okay that I discuss these courses or what I've discovered in them. Or a creative way of basically saying, you know, this is a group that I wouldn't work with. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to go about that, but I do want to make sure that that information is shared because, you know, realistically, I know that a lot of people look to me on ways to generate income, whether it's through cryptocurrency or other business ventures. I have a business development background. You know, I've been self-employed pretty much since high school. And you know, I have a lot of experience when it comes to building a business and management and sales and marketing and the like. And I understand how difficult it is. And I also understand that when you're trying to launch a new business endeavor, you know, it's often a big risk and it's often a financial risk. And I don't like the idea of so many of these guys out there. Just honestly, it just feels like they're preying on people's desire to change their lives or to do honest business on Amazon. And they're just preying on their ignorance. And they're selling a pipe dream. And the reality is, any business that you're going to start is not going to be easy. It's going to take countless hours. And oftentimes, it's going to take a large number of failures and the experience and the lessons learned from those failures before you find success. Unless it's already in an industry you're extremely familiar with. Like, I could probably go out tomorrow and start a mortgage company and probably do pretty well. You know, I could go out and I mean, I can start a fight promotion again and probably do pretty well. I could go start a record label and probably do decent. Record label is probably one of the most difficult because it's, you know, it's wildly changing. But the point is, if you have experience in something, or you just generally have decent business development, marketing experience overall, especially online, well, then you're going to have a leg up over other people trying to start an Amazon FBA business. But if you don't have any of that experience, maybe you work in a factory, maybe you build houses, maybe you're an electrician, like whatever, and you're trying to venture into Amazon FBA, there's a lot of stuff that apparently these courses simply do not teach you. They want you to pay them money. They want your money. And the lessons that you learn are probably not going to be much different than what you're going to discover just surfing YouTube for free. So I'll leave it there. There's definitely going to be more to come, but hopefully you've gained a bit more insight as to what it really is like establishing an Amazon FBA business. Now, again, I want to finish this and conclude by saying this is not to say that you can't be successful on Amazon. This is not to say that there's anything wrong with Amazon. I do like the idea, from what I'm hearing, that eBay is looking to compete directly with Amazon FBA with very similar service and much less expense. So I may opt to try that route over Amazon, but I don't know, man. Amazon is like the king of online retail, and I don't know if anybody's going to be able to really kick them down a peg, but we'll see. And maybe that'll be a really good use case scenario. Like if you launch two products, you launch one on Amazon, the same thing on eBay, which one gets the most ground the quickest? What are the benefits, the cost savings? Even if it's cheaper to learn with your first product on Amazon or on eBay, in the future, and then use what you learn to be more effective in a competitive market on Amazon, that's just fine too. So we'll see. I'm here, and I'm in this. I'm in this for the long haul. I've got a few different projects that I'm working on that I will be launching on Amazon FBA when the time is right. I will be sharing all that experience. And in the meantime, anything that I can share with you to help you in your journey for building a passive income stream, for building a business or sales operation, marketing online, Amazon FBA, eBay, hopefully in the future, I'm going to be here to do just that. And I hope it helps you, and hopefully it saves you a lot of money. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me. Crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.